Hi, Doctor. How you doing? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, right, right. Well, the regular stuff. Memorial Day is difficult for me. Um, 4th of July, somebody was blowing up some industrial fireworks in the creek that runs next to my house, and I thought about going out there with my paintball gun and firing their fucking ass up. But instead, I took a couple of Ativan and went to bed like that. I know why they do it. They're having fun. They don't think about me. They don't think about me down the creek. I get that. I get that. Right. Right. Oh, people are shooting them off the day before, but usually that stuff is far away and it doesn't bother. I mean, that's not, you know, that's those are event-driven kinds of things. They're not my normal day-to-day life, which is I try to stay out of and away from that stuff. Like Memorial Day, I like to spend that out at the lake house because I don't get you know, what I call the dead veterans mattress sale commercials. Thank you for your fucking service. So I stay away from that. I try to stay away from that. So, you know, you know, doctor, basically my life, certainly for the last 22 years or the last 25, if you will, have been focused on accommodating my PTS and I've I don't like fucking change, and so my life is geared around that. And if I really wanted to, I could stay in my house. I have a pool table. I have a putting green in my backyard. I have a hot tub. I go out to this lake house and they have hot tubs in it, which I don't use much. But I have a little area that I call the porch, and I sit there and people watch, and people who know me stop by and we have conversations. But that's pretty much my life. I don't. Every now and then I have to go to the commissary or the BX or something like that. But other than that, that's my life out there or here at my house. Um, my sleep patterns are always odd. I typically wake up somewhere around 3 or 3:30 in the morning. Um, my wife says I have to get up and check the perimeter, that's kind of true. Um, um, I usually take a nap. I try to do it every day at around 1 o'clock noon, and sleep for a couple hours then. Um, yeah. I don't like to do it, but it feels necessary. And um, you know, they're like that. But usually when I wake up from night sleep, I'm totally awake. Minimally before the sun rises. No, it's weird for me to wake up to a sunrise. I mean, I'm usually observing the sunrise. Always observing the sunrise. You know, very few situations where I've not gotten up before sunrise. In the last 25 years. No, I usually get up and I drink coffee and I catch Morning Joe and and the morning news, um, and then I'll smoke some pot maybe, and then during the time of good weather, my wife and I and Racine, my wife Stephanie, and my wife and Racine go out to the area of my yard we call the grotto, which is very nice. It's got a fountain, and and then we sit out there and drink coffee and laugh and tell stories, that kind of stuff. Yeah. I've told you, I live an idyllic life. I have no complaints. As a matter of fact, my only complaint is this and these conversations. That's my only complaint in life. I'm at this point. I think the Boost Bar was the straw for me, because I tried that. I was anhedonic. I was completely disassociated from the people around me. I spent most of my time staring at Facebook, that kind of stuff, and that kind of life is no life for me. And then that's the reason I stopped it, and then it's caused me to reflect. And where, from my perspective, like I said, I've had 25 years of this protocol, the Ativan. In 22 years ago, I went into the Travis Air Force Base system and then eventually over to the VA, and I've been getting prescribed Ativan, either 30 milligrams a month, or my last provider prescribed 60 milligrams a month. And I didn't care. I don't care either. I don't count them. By the way, what do you say about her? What do you say to yourself about you? You think she was a quack? Do you think she was incompetent? Do you think she was not doing the right thing somehow? Yes. 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 I had her for 7 or 8 years up until you. But about this specifically, about her prescribing me 60 milligrams of Ativan per month for the last 7 or 8 years, and only seeing me once a year, or if I needed to see her, and which I did a couple of times, and I called her and made an appointment and went to see her. So what do you say about this? Because you're in my mind way overly concerned about this. And so it makes me start to think that you're trying to cover your ass somehow. Doctor, everyone that's ever prescribed it for me has been concerned about it. And I get and actually it wasn't until I realized exactly what the concern was, you know. But every doctor I've had up until you has prescribed it. And and then sometimes I have an argument about it. You know, I advocate for myself because I know this shit works for me and it's good for me. And the last doctor I had allowed me 7 or 8 years of transparency about it. I didn't have to get up and think about, oh, what am I going to tell the doctor this morning about my Ativan use? How am I going to try to convince him to prescribe it to me in the doses that he's prescribing it? I ruminate over every one of these. Let me speak. Don't interrupt me. I ruminate over these conversations. 3 months ahead of this appointment, I was thinking about this conversation, and I have been thinking about how it was going to go and what I was going to say. Just like the conversation that we had last time, I thought about it 3 months ahead of time. I made notes. I did research. I think about it, just like I did the appointment before that. So 9 months out of the fucking year, I'm thinking about you and why I'm having to convince you every 4 months that 30 milligrams a month is not a big deal to me, and I use it appropriately, and I'm not addicted because I did take a 2-week holiday and didn't experience any and I don't know if you want to take my word for that. I don't care. So now you can talk. It's only a conversation. It's only a conversation to you, doctor. It's only a conversation to you. I identify it as a conversation because I'm a linguist, but I don't have them I don't have conversations haphazardly. I don't wake up Monday morning and go, "Who's on my agenda this week?" Oh my God, it's Tony Love. We're gonna have this is gonna be a tough one. No, I think about you. You're in my mind 9 months out of the year. You told me you don't want to make my life more difficult. Well, you have. And you have for me, and you have for my wife, and you have for Racine. And so, you know, when I ain't happy, nobody around here is fucking happy. So you're not helping me. So I'm beginning to wonder, are you like covering your ass or something? You have been prescribing the medication, but I have to meet with you every 4 months and beg and give you a report, which I can't not obsess over. So here, well, let me just cut to the chase here. I'm not gonna do this anymore. If you want to prescribe me 30 milligrams a month and see me once a year, I'm happy with that. But if you don't want to prescribe it and we never have another conversation, fucking do that, because you won't have to get up on Monday morning and see me on your schedule, and I won't have to think about you 9 months out of the year. And then whatever the consequences of you not prescribing a protocol that I've had for 25 years that I say anecdotally works for me in the way that I do it, I can't be trusted for that. So I don't participate in trivial shit, and this is trivial shit to me. You said yourself this is not a therapeutic conversation. This is about Ativan. Okay. All right. Good. Okay, I'm happy with that, doctor. I really am, because this really is a these again. It's not therapeutic. I could tell you all my troubles, and we don't in a half hour conversation. We're not going to get anywhere with that. So for me, this conversation is solely about Ativan. And I'm happy to meet with you. If you wanted to learn something from me, I would meet with you way more often. But I think I have a good perspective on this PTSD stuff, because I don't treat it casually, and I think about it and I research it, and I've been doing kind of psychological work since the early '80s. So, and I'm a linguist, and I come at it from a linguistic point of view. But we don't have that context. We don't have a context for that, and that's okay. But I just don't want this to be something that gets me. And I took a half Ativan before this conversation, an hour ago, an hour ago. So yes, once a year, I'm cool with that. Um, uh, okay, terrific. No, no, you're right. I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to do. As a matter of fact, I prefer it face to face. It's too easy to talk like this over the phone. I'm fine with that. And you would see me. Yes, absolutely. I'll do that once a year. Come in. You wanted, and the timing of it doesn't matter to me, doctor. If you want to see me for an hour and a half once a year, I'm fine with that. But a half hour every 3 or 4 months, to me, that makes no sense to me in any kind of way. There's no way you're going to learn about who I am in that time. Next September. I'll see you next September. Yeah, Fairfield. Terrific. Okay. Thanks, doctor. I really appreciate that, and thanks for understanding. I really do. I'm sorry if I come across a little terse and blunt, but you know, that's kind of, I'm 77 and I deserve to be old and grumpy. Yeah. Every 6 months is what I was getting. I don't know. I don't know what it is now. That's a difference. You know, I don't care as long as when I call to get it renewed, it gets renewed. Okay. O- Okay. You too, Doctor. Bye bye.